The stock market is rigged. And while you're all out there looking at Roaring Kitty, GameStop, trying to get rich on a legacy retailer, somehow pivoting their model into a holding company, crypto, blah, 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 we are crushing it here at Rigged AI. We're looking at May 20th until June 11th. We don't include the 12th because JPOW, FOMC day. And we're looking at alerts where the p-value is edge or advantage. That means statistically significant to happen again. 73 total results. This is the first page, 50 results on here. Every single one of 50. You win over 100%. Not including drawdown, which is something that we'll get to. When we go to the second page, it's like, okay, 98%, that's still pretty good. 2 hours, only a 25% drawdown. And some of these are complete stinkers, complete duds. Dud, 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 dud. Overall, when we're looking at this, the numbers are incredible. By simply following the rigged AI system and trading edge or ADV, where the win rate is 50%, that's what it should say. Whoop, whoop, slide, 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 slide. You are absolutely crushing it, winning 68% of the time. Now, this includes max drawdown, and if you were able to buy and hold until the very end, you return 257% on your capital. That's incredible. But when we look at the evolution of the rigged system, Komodo, edge, essentially p-value, win rate, step one. And, we're calling it Project Inception. Let's move on to part 2, when we go one layer deeper looking at KTR. So the first major change, one of the major visual changes, is now when a bull bomb or a bear bomb has edge, it's a Komodo alert, 50% plus win rate with probability. You're going to see it nice and big there on the chart. Right? And there are a couple ways to think about this. One, it could win immediately, or 2, it could draw down. And typically, somewhere around 10% of the time, it just wins, and the rest of the time, you're looking at KTR. So let's look at this thing. Here we go. 12.34, 12.23, 12.15, 65.71% win rate with edge. That had a 64% drawdown in an hour. That had a 46% drawdown in an hour, but you're still seeing here, when bullish flow comes in this low, $5.64, below the blue line, it wins at 65% of the time. So what you're looking for is this KTR or even KTR2. Now the low on this was 60 cents, just below 64. And that's why we can go in to the trade immediately. Small, because at 12.23, maybe it absolutely rips and flies from there. But if not, we are giving you the entry points. The low is 60. If you put bids in at 64 and you filled and you held until the end of the session, you're getting $3.61 back. That in itself is like a 450% return versus 224%. So when we see these alerts come in, high win rate with edge, the Komodo alerts, We're looking to get into the trade. And that could mean immediately, and it just goes. But if you're in one of those situations where you're in the trade, it's kind of bouncing back and forth, tight stop loss, and then let's set our entries lower in this KTR, right? And KTR is where it normally draws down. Now, all these came in a very close, time frame. You're able to fill KTR here, and you filled KTR here, here. And if you survived the drawdown, you made a ton of money. But that's what rigged is about. It's about, hey, let's find the alerts that have the highest win rate, and then let's try and get the best entry possible. All right, here, let's just look at the highest performing alert, 996.25% in 4 hours. Edge, win rate 55.56%. Max drawdown, massive, 44.98%. Let's see this thing. Where are we? Right here. I mean, that's the 520 strike, and you end up getting 7 higher if you held until the end of the session. Not rigged, remember, a winning alert means a 100% trade at any point in the session afterwards. But you're seeing this, we're just looking at the flow here, and let me refresh really quickly. This is like the most beautiful example, a full send, right? Full send, and that started at 10:59, see it here. You have giant bears here, which probably all return 100%. Exactly. And then when we get so low, 5 strikes down, I mean, look at the flow change. Bears, you get to 5 strikes down, it switches. These, a little bit early, great trades in the end, but it just switches over. And you could have even waited until the end, 1508. This is just a completely ridiculous nonsense, 900% trade. Because sometimes it does this. And lately, it's been happening in the last 10 minutes of the session. So basically, the thing that we're trying to get across here, the point we're trying to make, is that when we're looking to trade zero-day options, specifically SPY and QQQ, if we stick with 50% win rate, edge or ADV, right now you're winning 60% of the time. It's returning over 100%. If you're able to hold longer, your runners, even better. Let's look at some losers now and just see what happened. Let's look at this one, 0%, 0%, 0%. Oh. Move my face over. Here we go. Max gain, 0% on this thing. This is an interesting full send session where nothing really happened until you ended 2 strikes higher. So I guess the view on this would be, you're in the middle, you've come down, volume 122%. You would maybe expect that move to continue, but you're going to take this trade really quickly. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, it moves up, they tempt in this high win rate bull, it gets nothing, and it gets, hey, let's check it again. It gets 56%. But this is probably one of my favorite Wall Street tricks, is when they just keep us to the blue the whole time, eventually this thing is going to break out. And you did have that break, and then it ended up just a little bit higher. Let's see if we can find a better example of an alert just getting killed, massacred. Let's see. Here we go. Perfect example. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 bull bombs that are extremely high up. We're in full send mode. We expect to go beyond 3. Volume's picking up. Here, volume is supposed to keep going, and we go higher. And this is just a matter of, can you tell if you're late or not, right? Like this is late. Here, you're late. If you're taking this one, oh, gotta refresh. Oh, gotta refresh this one. $142% here, right? And all of these get 100% plus, 180 something. Once you get past 3 strikes, right? Because you're in the 3 strike range right here. And if it does not just blow the roof off and go past 4, you're going to get killed. But this is telling you, let's go 1125. 76% of the time, we do fly through that and keep going beyond 3 when volume is at 139%. We're supposed to fly through it. We don't. But that's why just understanding, like, hey, am I late? Am I early? This one, you're kind of late because it's above 3. You take this one right here, you're not. Because what? You're 1.7, 1.9 up. Pushes to 3, hits 4, comes back down. It's hard to go from 3 to 4, but if it does go, it will just fly. Nice example of it not doing it. We'll go through one more really quickly. Something with just like nothing. Let's look at this. Edge bear. Okay. 1400, seen plenty of nukes at this point in time. You've moved up 1309 in an hour, moved up about a strike. And don't hate this trade, but like we just went 1.3 below the blue. We're starting to move above the blue. It is a bull market. June is bullish as HELL. Just want to wait on it, right? Just wait. Remember, there's no need to rush in to any of these. 10% of the time you will win rushing in, and you'll never draw it down. The rest of the time, it's going to get a little nasty along the way. But this is like what I want to push on you guys to think about. 50% win rate, edge or ADV, just SPY and just QQQ. I mean, let's look at this one. 531. Nasty drawdown. Had to be a crazy end of the day rip. Yeah. So this is an attempt at -6. I mean, it's a PS -12. So when you see like that bullish flow come in so low, it's early in the session. Not really going to see a bounce until around 1300. That's why we have open, middle, final, and 9C. But you can lose that. Hey, take 20% off. But when you get the other signals here during the final, I guess they come in the middle, huh? When you get these coming in, like, don't be afraid to do it again, to try it again. 1238. 72% win rate with edge, 14% drawdown, 700% gain. That's what this is about. Joe from Discord may be helping us with a bunch of UI stuff, UX stuff. The system is getting dialed in, people. This video was extremely long, but I want to cover the fact that, hey, if you can only trade edge some ADV, 50% win rate, alerts. You are going to crush it here. I mean, if you can only trade that, and then you add on the fact that, hey, you are able to tell and gauge if you are early or late to the move, like your win rate is going to be ridiculous. And that's how it should be. Always lose small, sometimes win big. Stock market is rigged.